Title 11, Non-Stock Corporations, Section 87. For the purposes of this code, a non-stock corporation is one where no part of its income is distributable as dividends to its members, trustees, or officers, subject to the provisions of this code on dissolution, provided that any profit which a non-stock corporation may obtain as an incident to its operations shall, whenever necessary or proper, be used for the furtherance of the purpose or purposes for which the corporation was organized, subject to the provisions of this title. The provisions governing stock corporation, when pertinent, shall be applicable to non-stock corporations, except as may be covered by specific provisions of this title. Section 88. Purposes. Non-stock corporations may be formed or organized for charitable, religious, educational, professional, cultural, fraternal, literary, scientific, social, civic service, or similar purposes like trade, industry, agricultural, and like chambers, or any combination thereof, subject to the special provisions of this title governing particular classes of non-stock corporations. Chapter 1, Members, Section 89, Right to Vote. The right of the members of any class or classes to vote may be limited, broadened, or denied to the extent specified in the Articles of Incorporation or the bylaws. Unless so limited, broadened, or denied, each member, regardless of class, shall be entitled to one vote. Unless otherwise provided in the Articles of Incorporation or the bylaws, a member may vote by proxy in accordance with the provisions of this code. Voting by mail or other similar means by members of non-stock corporations may be authorized by the bylaws of non-stock corporations with the approval of and under such conditions which may be prescribed by the SEC. Section 90. Non-transferability of membership. Membership in a non-stock corporation and all rights arising therefrom are personal and non-transferable unless the Articles of Incorporation or the bylaws otherwise provide. Section 91. Termination of membership. Membership shall be determined in the manner and for the causes provided in the Articles of Incorporation or the bylaws. Termination of membership shall have the effect of extinguishing all rights of a member in the corporation or in its property, unless otherwise provided in the Articles of Incorporation or the bylaws. Chapter 2. Trustees and Officers. Section 92. Election and term of trustees. Unless otherwise provided in the Articles of Incorporation or the bylaws, the Board of Trustees of non-stock corporations, which may be more than 15 in number, as may be fixed in their Articles of Incorporation or bylaws, shall, as soon as organized, so classify themselves that the term of office of 1/3 of their number shall expire every year, and subsequent elections of trustees comprising 1/3 of the Board of Trustees shall be held annually, and trustees so elected shall have a term of 3 years. Trustees thereafter elected to fill vacancies occurring before the expiration of a particular term shall hold office only for the unexpired period. No person shall be elected as a trustee unless he is a member of the corporation. Unless otherwise provided in the Articles of Incorporation or the bylaws, officers of a non-stock corporation may be directly elected by the members. Section 93. Place of meetings. The bylaws may provide that the members of a non-stock corporation may hold their regular or special meetings at any place, even outside the place where the principal office of the corporation is located, provided that proper notice is sent to all members indicating the date, time, and place of the meeting, and provided further that the place of meeting shall be within the Philippines. Chapter 3. Distribution of Assets in Non-Stock Corporations. Section 94. Rules of Distribution. In case dissolution of a non-stock corporation in accordance with the provisions of this code, its assets shall be applied and distributed as follows. 1. All liabilities and obligations of the corporation shall be paid, satisfied, and discharged, or adequate provision shall be made therefor. 2. Assets held by the corporation upon a condition requiring return, transfer, or conveyance, and which condition occurs by reason of the dissolution shall be returned, transferred, or conveyed in accordance with such requirements. 3. Assets received and held by the corporation, subject to limitations permitting their use only for charitable, religious, benevolent, educational, or similar purposes, but not held upon a condition requiring return, transfer, or conveyance by reason of dissolution, shall be transferred or conveyed to one or more corporations, societies, or organizations engaged in activities in the Philippines substantially similar to those of the dissolving corporation, according to a plan of distribution adopted pursuant to this chapter. 4. Assets other than those mentioned in the preceding paragraphs, if any, shall be distributed in accordance with the provisions of the Articles of Incorporation or the bylaws, to the extent that the Articles of Incorporation or the bylaws determine the distributive rights of members or any class or classes of members, or provide for distribution. And 5. In any other case, assets may be distributed to such persons, societies, organizations, or corporations, whether or not organized for profit, as may be specified in a plan of distribution adopted pursuant to this chapter. Section 95. Plan of Distribution of Assets. A plan providing for the distribution of assets not inconsistent with the provisions of this title may be adopted by a non-stock corporation in the process of dissolution in the following manner. The Board of Trustees shall by majority vote adopt a resolution recommending a plan of distribution and directing the submission thereof to a vote at a regular or special meeting of members having voting rights. Written notice setting forth the proposed plan of distribution or a summary thereof, and the date, time, and place of such meeting shall be given to each member entitled to vote, within the time and in the manner provided in this code for the giving of notice of meetings to members. Such plan of distribution shall be adopted upon approval of at least 2/3 of the members having voting rights, present or represented by proxy at such meeting.